Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Today's ribbon-cutting ceremony for the United States Coast Guard's newest training center will begin momentarily. Please move to your seats and silence all cell phones and electronic devices, as the ceremony will begin in nearly 5 minutes. The lighting will be dimmed in a few moments. If you have not found your seat yet, please take a seat.
The United States Coast Guard stands the watch. From high seas rescues to securing our maritime borders, we are always ready.
But readiness doesn't begin on the water or in the air. It starts by developing the sharpest minds and most capable leaders to face the complex challenges of tomorrow.
The ultimate strength of the service relies on rigorous training and elite preparation. Now, that foundation of excellence is finding a new home in Birmingham.
Establishing the Coast Guard's home of the Enlisted Leadership Center of Excellence on the historic grounds of Birmingham-Southern campus brings not only an American institution to the city, but also brings new energy, economic vitality, and lasting opportunity to the region.
This partnership is more than an investment in our workforce. It is a commitment to this community. Together, Birmingham and the Coast Guard are shaping the future of national security, training the next generation of heroes right here at home.
Birmingham has invested in a legacy of excellence, and the Coast Guard is proud to become a permanent part of this community's future.
But more importantly, it means that Coast Guard success stories of tomorrow will be forged right here in Sweet Home, Alabama.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Secretary of Homeland Security, the Commandant, the Deputy Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, welcome to the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the Coast Guard Training Center, Birmingham-Southern. My name is Master Chief Brian Griffiths, United States Coast Guard, and I have the honor of serving as your Master of Ceremonies. Military members, please remain uncovered for the duration of the ceremony and follow my cues for rendering honors. I would like to recognize a number of our distinguished attendees who have taken time out of their schedules to join us today. Ninth Secretary of Homeland Security, the Honorable Markwayne Mullin, United States Senator from Alabama, Tommy Tuberville, joined by his daughter-in-law, Grace Tuberville, United States Senator from Alabama, Katie Britt, and her husband, Wesley, United States House Representative for Alabama's 4th District, Congressman Robert Alderholt, 28th Commandant of the Coast Guard, Admiral Kevin Lunday, Homeland Security Advisor, Mr. Stephen Munoz, Deputy Homeland Security Advisor, Mr. Joseph Defer, 34th Mayor of Birmingham, Randall Woodfin, United States Coast Guard Deputy Commandant for Personnel, Rear Admiral Charles Fossey, Alabama National Guard Director of Staff, Brigadier General John Michael Taylor, United States Coast Guard Deputy Chief of Staff, Mr. Gary Rassicott, United States Coast Guard Director of Force Readiness Command, Ms. Jennifer Sinclair, and United States Coast Guard Director of Operational Logistics Command, Ms. Amy Gravely. We'd also like to acknowledge representatives from across federal, state, and local government, military and veterans affairs groups, and from our interagency partners. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the rendering of honors, presentation of colors, the singing of our national anthem, and the delivery of our invocation. Military members, attention. Birmingham-Southern College, arriving. Deputy Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, arriving. United States Coast Guard, arriving. The Honorable Katie Britt, United States Senator from the state of Alabama, arriving. The Honorable Tommy Tuberville, United States Senator from the state of Alabama, arriving. Now, Homeland Security, arriving. Official party, hand salute. Ready, 2. At this time, please remain standing for the national anthem. The national anthem will be performed by Dr. Margaret Jackson, Birmingham-Southern College alumni. Color Guard, present the colors. Official party, hand salute.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, give proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
Right shoulder, forward. Ready, 2. Military members at ease. Official party, please uncover. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the invocation delivered by Reverend Keith D. Thompson.
On this glorious and wonderful day, let us offer a prayer. Almighty and eternal God, before any of us arrived on this earth, you were present upon this hilltop. You have watched over every season of its history, every generation that has learned, led, and served from this place, and you are here today. Today we gather at a rare and sacred moment, a moment when gratitude for the past meets hope for the future. We give thanks for all those who have shaped this place through the years, for students and teachers, leaders and helpers, trustees and friends whose labor and sacrifice created a legacy that lives far beyond these grounds. For we know, O God, institutions are not ultimately measured by the buildings they leave behind, but by the lives they send forth. And today, O God, we celebrate a new calling for this hilltop. We give thanks for the United States Coast Guard and for the women and men who have devoted themselves to serving our nation. We thank you for those who stand and watch while others sleep, for those who go towards danger when others move away, for those who rescue the lost, protect the vulnerable, defend our shores, and answer the call of duty with courage and humility. Bless the leaders gathered here today. Bless those who will train on this campus in the years ahead. May this place become a forge for character and a school for service. May it shape leaders marked not only by competence, but by integrity. Lord, remind us that the stewardship is never ownership. We hold places only for a season. We receive them from those who came before us, and we prepare them for those who will come after us. So today we entrust this new chapter to your care. May the best of what has been become a foundation for what will be. And on this hilltop, on the city's western border, may generations yet unborn look back on this day and say that it was marked by wisdom, guided by courage, and filled with hope. God bless this campus. God bless the United States Coast Guard. God bless all who will serve and learn here, and God bless the United States of America. For every legacy that endures, every calling that is answered, and every future still waiting to unfold, we give you thanks, for you are our hope and our strength, now and always. In your holy name we offer this prayer. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Thompson. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Today marks a historic moment as we celebrate the formal opening of Coast Guard Training Center in Birmingham-Southern. This campus begins a new chapter serving our nation by training the next generation of Coast Guard professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome the 16th president of Birmingham-Southern College, Mr. Daniel Coleman.
Good afternoon. Senators Britt, Taberville, Commandant Lundy, Secretary Mullin, welcome to Birmingham-Southern campus. There are moments in our lives that are extraordinarily intense. And what makes these moments seem overwhelming is that you know deep down that nothing will be the same after the moment passes. Tonight I say farewell to the operations of this college. After 168 years, we are all sharing such a moment. I said those exact words 2 years ago in this spot. It was May 23rd, 2024, and we had a ceremony to mark the closing of this college, and it felt like a funeral. It was intense, sad, and seemingly final. We celebrated the past and we mourned the present, but we couldn't imagine a future. We couldn't imagine a future where we'd be back here 2 years later to celebrate that the mission of BSC could continue on this hilltop for another 100 years. Last Sunday, the BSC community was joined by Captain Jennifer Bowden, the 13th Chaplain of the United States Coast Guard, and Captain Matthew Brown, United States Coast Guard Force Readiness Command, for a service of Thanksgiving at Trinity Methodist Church in Homewood. At the service, we conveyed the land of Birmingham-Southern College through livery of TRACEN, a medieval British ceremony where the seller hands the buyer a lump of dirt from the property, representing a transfer of ownership. Sunday's ceremony was much happier. It was a transition. It was a graduation, which is also a commencement. Southern University was founded in Greensboro, Alabama in 1856. Birmingham College was founded right here in 1898, and these two Methodist institutions of higher learning came together right here on the hilltop in 1918. For over 100 years, Birmingham-Southern College was an intellectual beacon of light for the city and the state. At Southern, students received a personalized and holistic education. Here we believe that knowledge without purpose was wasted, and the purpose of knowledge was the service of others. Now, not many institutions get to last more than 100 years, and the ones that do rarely successfully maintain their mission. But in the case of Birmingham-Southern College, our institution's gone, but our mission lives on with the sale of the campus to the United States Coast Guard. In April 2025, we had our first meeting here on campus with the Coast Guard. By May, we knew our counterparts wanted this campus, and we knew we wanted them to have it. As we worked through the tediousness of due diligence and the complexities of federal government approval, we got to know the officers on an individual level. In them, we saw the very commitment to excellence and to service that we tried to instill in our students. We grew to know a group of people that exemplified service leadership, a group who put their mission ahead of themselves. And once we met the team from the Coast Guard, we knew this is the organization to carry on our legacy. The past year was tough, though, for BSC manning this ship. We had almost no money and almost no resources. The approval process of the sale was very much a mystery to us. And yet the people on the other side of the table had earned our trust, and it was our belief in them that carried us through this time of uncertainty. Standing before you today, I can tell you the weight of this past year was all worth it. It was worth it to the BSC community to hand our campus to a group of people committed to preserving our legacy, a group of committed to a mission of service. It was worth it to our city and state, where the Coast Guard is going to bring hundreds of full-time officers and teachers and thousands of trainees. The economic impact will be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And Birmingham will be a shared experience for all future members of the Coast Guard. I would like to thank Senator Britt and Senator Tuberville. You helped us get us across the finish line, and you helped us on the way. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank my friend Representative Robert Adderholt, who helped us the last 4 years, held my hand in some frustrating moments, but helped to get across the finish line as well. And thank my friend Mayor Woodfin, who's been a friend and partner of this college ever since I was president. I would like to welcome Secretary Mullin to the Hilltop into Birmingham. I'd like to welcome Commandant Lundy and let you know we hope to see you here a lot. And on behalf of the BSC community in my hometown, we look forward to partnering with you and your team at U.S. Coast Guard Training Center, Birmingham-Southern, as it becomes an integral part of the Coast Guard's future. 2 years ago, we had a funeral. It was intense and sad. Last week, we had a graduation or a commencement. Today, it feels more like a wedding, and I get to be the father of the bride. I'm letting go of my duties, and I know that my daughter, this campus, this legacy will be cherished and protected for 100 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome the 5th Deputy Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, Master Chief Matthew Buckman.
Secretary Mullin, Senator Tuberville, Senator Britt, Representative Adderholt, Mayor Woodfin, distinguished guests, and shipmates, good afternoon. What a day. It's an honor and a privilege to be here today to witness and take part in the transfer of ownership of our newest Coast Guard Training Center. Even though this is my first visit to Birmingham-Southern campus, I've had multiple people describe it to me and how perfectly suited it is to meet the needs of our growing Coast Guard. However, none of the reports prepared me for what I saw the first time I came through the Bruno Gate. This campus is simply amazing. Coming into possession of a facility like this, in such good condition and with so much space, seemingly tailor-made for us, is like receiving the opening kickoff of a football game at the 50-yard line. It gets us halfway to the go right from the start. As we have toured the campus and seen the obvious care and pride of ownership that has gone into the long history of this facility, it is clear that the people who studied here, worked here, and lived here held it in the highest regard and cared deeply for it. Now it is our turn to take up that legacy and build upon it. As our team led by Captain Matt Brown and his crew work to bring this campus back to full life, we look forward to becoming part of the continuing story of Birmingham. As Coast Guard men and women and families start arriving, you'll soon be seeing us around town, finding homes, signing up for Little League, dance, karate lessons, joining churches and schools. I'm sure as we're pretty far from the coast, which is kind of our thing,
I'm confident you'll soon meet a Coast Guard member happy to share some sea stories and some of the lore and legends of the sea. Beyond becoming a new home base for us, the establishment of this training center represents an unprecedented investment in the most important resource we have, our people. It is our people who operate the ships, aircraft, and small boats, respond to pollution and environmental disasters, stand vigilant watches in our command centers. Our current workforce and the new recruits we are bringing into the service at a record pace are the most talented, dedicated, and smartest we've ever had. We owe it to them to provide the best training, leadership skills, and professional development possible, and this facility will allow us to do that. As we continue to bring this new training center back to life, we acknowledge that we can't do it alone. We acknowledge that we can't do it without the continued support from our community and government leaders. We thank you for being so welcoming to us, and we look forward to the future partnership in training America's premier maritime leaders right here in Birmingham. Thank you, and Semper Paratus.
Thank you, Deputy McProg. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome the 28th Commandant of the United States Coast Guard, Admiral Kevin Lunday.
Good afternoon, Secretary Mullin, Senator Tupperville, Senator Britt, Representative Adderholt, Mayor Woodfin, Mr. Munoz, Mr. DeFur, all of our distinguished guests that are here today, President Coleman, distinguished alumni of this incredible institution, and members of the community. What an amazing day for our United States Coast Guard and for our nation. This day that is so special for our service, a new beginning, a new era. I want to thank first our incredible leaders who have made today possible. First, the support not only of our President, President Trump, and Secretary Mullin, but of our Congress and the Senate in giving the funding and the resources available to enable us to do this today. To President Coleman for his leadership to keep the college here going, and then to work so closely with us to make it a reality. Every single day around the globe, the United States Coast Guard stands the watch. From carrying out high seas rescues in the dead of night to securing our maritime borders and defending our nation in cyberspace, we are always ready. But as we look around this magnificent campus today, we're reminded of a fundamental truth. Readiness doesn't begin on the water. It doesn't begin in the air. It begins right here. Readiness starts by developing the sharpest minds and the most capable leaders to face the complex challenges of tomorrow. We're currently operating in an era of historic consequence for the United States and for the Coast Guard. To meet the demands of this new era, the Coast Guard is undergoing a generational transformation. We're acquiring a new fleet of ships and aircraft, and to crew those ships and aircraft and carry out our missions, we must grow our force by 15,000. As our force grows, so too our investment must grow in the men and women who lead them. Our enlisted corps is the lifeblood of our service, the ultimate strength of the Coast Guard, and it relies on rigorous training, discipline, and advanced education. As we rapidly grow our Coast Guard, we also need to expand our training capability. We can't just recruit thousands of new people. We have to provide them the leadership skills, the craft, and the professional skills to be able to conduct our missions in a dangerous and unforgiving maritime environment. For a long time, we looked for the right place to expand our leadership training for our enlisted workforce. We needed a location that matched our core values, a place built on hard work, dedication, a legacy of honor and excellence and service. And we found it right here at Birmingham-Southern College. Today, it's my distinct honor to officially establish the Coast Guard's Enlisted Training Center of Excellence on these historic grounds, formally naming it Coast Guard Training Center, Birmingham-Southern. We know exactly what this campus means to the people of Birmingham and the entire state of Alabama. When the gates of this college closed 2 years ago, it marked the end of an extraordinary era for Birmingham. And today marks the proud beginning of a new era. We know how deeply this community cares for the Hilltop. As the Coast Guard assumes the watch here, our pledge to you is simple. We will be faithful partners and dedicated stewards of these historic grounds. We will preserve the character of this campus, ensuring the proud history and the story of Birmingham-Southern lives on. To all of our alumnus, of the college. You are always part of our family. You are always welcome here at your home, now our home. You know, the team created, we have these challenge coins that we hand out in the military. And the team created one here for Training Center Birmingham-Southern. We'll show it to you afterwards, but it's an entwined logo of Birmingham-Southern College with the Panther and the United States Coast Guard seal, reflecting the integration of these two great institutions. Moving forward, these magnificent grounds will serve as the premier training for every enlisted leader in the United States Coast Guard. Our goal is not to change the historic character of this hilltop, but to build upon it, adapting the treasure here into a 21st century military facility. That's a shared mission together. Preserving its grandeur while equipping it for the future will require the continued strong partnership at the federal, state, and local level by our leaders. We're proud to invest in this city and community we call home, and we look forward to working hand in hand with you. This partnership is built on more than just a shared mission. It's built on shared values. The Coast Guard's motto is Semper Paratus, and I know Birmingham-Southern College's enduring motto and call is for Forward Ever. Brought together, they create more than just a remarkable pairing. They establish a new shared ethos. Birmingham is invested in a legacy of excellence, and the Coast Guard is incredibly proud to become a permanent part of this city's future. Together, we're forging the next generation of Coast Guard heroes right here in Birmingham. We are making these generational investments in our people and a permanent commitment to our community here. Thank you to the city of Birmingham, the state of Alabama, and to everyone who made this a reality. Semper Paratus, and may God bless our United States of America.
Thank you, Admiral. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome United States Senator Katie Britt.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Secretary Mullin, Admiral Lundy, to Mayor Woodfin, to U.S. Attorney Williams, to Senator Tuberville, to Congressman Adderholt, to so many distinguished alumni that I see in the crowd, and distinguished leaders who helped make this happen. This is an incredible day, and it's an honor to join you here on the Hilltop to celebrate this historic day for Birmingham-Southern and for our community. Everyone here knows how critical Alabama is to our national defense, our military capabilities, and our national security. Today is yet another chapter in that, as we celebrate Birmingham-Southern College and the next chapter for it, further proving our point of what Alabama means to this nation. This is a transformational moment for this city and for the U.S. Coast Guard. Let's all be honest here. As you heard President Coleman speak, you could hear the frustration about sometimes how government works or doesn't. I'm here to tell you this is actually one of the better moves that we've made. And President Coleman, I want to say thank you on behalf of everyone. You have put your heart and soul into this for the last 4 years, and without your vigorous and tenacity, this wouldn't have become a reality. So thank you for ensuring that Birmingham-Southern maintains its forward ever posture with a new tenet that'll elevate that chapter and elevate our state as well. Thank you. And as you heard from leadership, this is a rare and perfect fit. It also means that thousands of members of the Coast Guard are going to be coming here to Birmingham. We'll have an opportunity to allow them to call this home. They'll have visitors that come, and then they'll have people who come and watch their graduation. This means, Mayor, that Birmingham is going to have a constant flow of people coming in, people that we get to welcome and show our Alabama hospitality to, and people who will get to see how special this city and community is. It will continue to boast our businesses, both large and small, and further contribute to the economic powerhouse that Alabama has become. Beyond logistics, what this means for the spirit of Birmingham is just as important. The Coast Guard's acquisition of BSC is a continuation of its historic legacy. While the school we know today opened its doors in 1918 and its predecessor, Southern University, began educating students 170 years before that in 1856, it has always dedicated itself to academic rigor, to training, and above all, service. This campus is special. Just ask the people who went here. They'll tell you about everything from the grass to the glass to the mortar to the buildings. They'll tell you about the traditions on the first day. They'll tell you about the fountains. They'll tell you what they did when and what it meant. But ultimately, we know that it helped teach, build, heal, minister, and put people out into the world that wanted to protect. Whether it's notable alumni like my dear friend Congressman Adderholt or U.S. Senator Howell Heflin, BSC is no stranger to public service. Between the Stevens Center on the academic quad to the Yielding Chapel, this place expanded the orbit of people who wanted to give back. And that's why it's been so special. You've seen students who came through here want to go into underserved communities. Nurseries were repainted in churches. Clinics were built. Schools were repaired because of what was seeded in them here at this school. To ensure that this incredible legacy is going to continue for our most courageous Americans, we are going to make sure that Birmingham-Southern logo continues to be branded and preserved around campus. I want to thank Admiral Lundy for making sure that that happened. It's fitting that this gorgeous 192-acre campus is going to continue to protect and impact Alabama, the country, and the globe, and going to help train the best, brightest, and bravest men and women among us. As chair of the Subcommittee for Homeland Security Appropriations, I am proud to have helped play a role in this. I am proud to have helped connect the dots and work alongside local, state, and federal leaders to make this a reality. As you can see, this is the perfect fit. This is why we advocated tirelessly to help land this plane. BSC is nearly move-in ready, and I am excited to see what happens here on this campus. I want to give a special thanks to Secretary Mullin. This is a neat day for me to be able to call you Secretary Mullin, to be able to watch your leadership and to watch you transform the Department of Homeland Security into an even bigger and better product that keeps Americans safe and secure. Your heart and service is just unparalleled, and it is a real honor to have you here as we dedicate this today. We're going to continue to work diligently to secure investments like this. It is an honor of a lifetime to represent our great state. I'll continue to fight for our values, fight for our people, and deliver results. So thank you once again for giving the Hilltop the opportunity to continue to produce phenomenal and dedicated graduates seeking to preserve and achieve a greater goal. Forward ever, and God bless.
Thank you, Senator. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome United States Senator Tommy Tuberville.
Thanks very much. Great to be here, Admiral, Secretary, all the people from the Coast Guard, all of our dignitaries here. We're here to welcome a new winner to our state. You know, we love winning. The state of Alabama loves winning. And folks, we just got a winner that joined the great state of Alabama. That's the United States Coast Guard Academy. Give them a hand. Birmingham-Southern's been here a long time. And I want to thank Daniel. Every time I talk to him, I can always hear it in his voice about how serious it was here about the future of Birmingham-Southern. And you can tell how much he cared about it. But this is not the end of Birmingham-Southern. All we're doing today, we're changing the curriculum and the courses. You know, Alabama is home to every branch of the United States military. Every branch. We do something in everything, from Huntsville all the way down to Mobile, all the way over to Fort McClellan, all the way down to Fort Rucker. And this is going to be just as big a part of anything that we've ever done here at Alabama. We are excited. Birmingham is excited. I want to thank one person that people need to take their hat off to. His name is President Donald Trump. He is the reason this is here today, that we're here. He believes in this country. He believes in law enforcement. He believes in military. He believes in national security. Talked to him several times about this. And I will say President Trump is a deal maker. And by getting this property for the United States Coast Guard Academy, he basically stole it as a negotiator. It came at a very good price for our country. We saved hundreds of millions of dollars by having this facility already here, which if we would have had to build this facility 10 years from now, we might have been able to move into it. But because of Birmingham-Southern already here, and President Trump understanding the need for training immediately, that's the reason we're here today. His foresight, his intuition. So we are very, very excited. Now, President Trump has done a lot of things since he's been president for a year and a half. Space Command, building submarines in Muscle Shoals, Fannie Mae coming to Birmingham. Just look at what's going on. Now we have this huge move of winners coming to our state. That's going to be here for years and years and years, long after all of us here are gone. And so we're proud today to see what's happening, to see a new birth of Birmingham-Southern, changing curriculum, changing courses, changing majors, but building leaders in our great country. We live in the greatest country on the face of the earth, and it was built because we have leaders in this country that came from mostly our military, branches like the United States Coast Guard. I'm proud to be a part of this. And it will grow, and it will grow, and grow. I'm looking forward to it. Possibly my next job, I will be even more involved in what's going to happen right here in the future. And I look forward to being part of it, because we're going to give them every hand that we possibly can, because we welcome them to the great state of Alabama. Now, I'd like to introduce the next speaker, who's a good friend of Katie's and I, a colleague of ours for several years, been some years in Washington, D.C. He comes from a state that doesn't play quite as good a football as we play, but we did let him in our conference, Oklahoma. But we're glad, as Katie said, I was proud when President Trump named a new Department of Homeland Security secretary. There's no better fit than what this guy knows and does and believes in for our country. He has done, in a short period of time, a great job and will continue to do a great job. He has a hard job, a very hard job, and we wish him the best. But again, thanks for the Coast Guard coming here. Thanks for President Trump's ability to give us this opportunity. And thanks for Secretary Mullin coming here today to be part of this kickoff. He didn't have to. He's got problems all over this country, but he wanted to be here. He wanted to be here for this very important time. So let's give a round of applause to our friend and everybody's friend in Alabama, even though he is from Oklahoma, the future of our country's security, Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, Secretary Markwayne Mullin.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's quite an honor to be here. Leslie, Britt, you don't have to stand up. You're the same height as everybody else sitting, but I appreciate that. First of all, thank you so much. I thought my speech was up here. It's what? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Well, that's the second awkward moment I've had since I got up here, because that Admiral, that standing right there with the great band that was playing, that was the most awkward moment of my life, I think. And I've weighed in front of people and not well clothed, and that was still more awkward. And so I think we're going to have to adjust that next time. I'm going to stand back here with you guys. I didn't even know how to stand. I just sat there and looked at you guys. I had no idea what to do. Anyways, thank you so much for welcoming the Coast Guard. I tell you what, while Alabama and Oklahoma may have our differences on the field, we can all agree we support our men and women that's protecting us every single day. And the one thing about the Coast Guard is they're the first line of defense for our homeland. I say that all the time, right? As Secretary of Homeland, I have the greatest job in the world. And the Coast Guard protects our shores, and then they protect us inland too. And to think that I get to be part of that is pretty amazing. And so, Coach, Katie, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Without their support in the Senate, I may not have been here, because I got to get confirmed. At Holt, man, I love serving with you. You always had a smile. He's always happy, always willing to work on things, and it's such an honor. And Daniel, I don't know you. I do think I'm better looking though, but that's a joke, by the way. What a heart! You could hear it in your speech. What a love for the community and a love for the campus. Very touching. And I thought, we want to be in a place like this. I mean, the Coast Guard, in fact, the military as a whole, we want to be in a place that wants us there, that welcomes us. And I feel like we're forming a partnership that's going to last, did you say 170 years? Well, the Coast Guard's not going away. We're still going to have shores, and we're still going to have homeland to protect. And I think we're going to be here for a very, very long time. And we're going to be an asset to your community. You're also going to learn the word coastie. I didn't know what that meant. I mean, I figured it out, but I didn't know they called themselves coasties. And until I walked on campus, and the Admiral showed me around his great office. By the way, it's so much better than mine, and I keep giving him a hard time telling him I'm going to actually commandeer his office and take it. But Admiral, can I see that coin? I want to see that panther on there. No, stay up here. I think you should get that on your forearm. I think that should be a tattoo right there. It's fitting, right? For a coastie to have that on her forearm. I mean, I think you have an anchor hanging out your sleeve, right? So you could have that also put on there too, and then you're really embedded in the community.
That sounds like an order. But
you guys think that should happen? I do. We'll celebrate it. We'll have it right here. No, I do want to thank President Trump too. President Trump is the first president in decades to take a heavy investment into our Coast Guard. He's put over $24 billion as a mission to revitalize the Coast Guard for today's threats and tomorrow's threats. And without this campus, we couldn't make it happen. One of the things we're going to be doing here is looking at counter UAS. We talk about drones all the time. And we talked about the offensive side of drones, but not the defensive side of it. And right here at this campus, right here in Birmingham, you're going to see an investment. And that's going to bring more companies into your community too. If I knew this was a thing the first 3 years I was with Katie Britt in the Senate, I would have been advocating for Oklahoma to get this. But she didn't tell me, and she calls herself a friend of mine, and she's not even sharing the love. By the way, side note, squirrel, President Trump does this, so I can too. We had a bet on the second game last year with Oklahoma and Alabama, because the first one didn't go so well. And by the way, I was in Alabama with that game, and I really enjoyed every single play.
I didn't want you to enjoy it that much.
Yeah, but I did. I have to say that I had it all planned that if Oklahoma would have won that last game, she was going to get something from the University of Oklahoma every single day. If she was in D.C., she was going to get it at her office. If she was in Alabama, she was going to get it mailed to her, and I was going to get her schedule, and wherever she was at in a hotel, she was going to wake up with University of Oklahoma gear at her door. And I'm telling you, I had it all lined up. Now, Coach, I like you too much to do that to you. But I want to go back to President Trump. When I first got in office as a Secretary of Homeland Security, he pulled me in and he says, you got a tough job. But one of the toughest jobs you have is we've got to work close together with the Coast Guard. They're going to play a big role in protecting us moving forward. They've been underutilized. From our ice cutters that we have 1, Russia has 49, to an investment that he's put in 11, and his goal is to get to 50 because he never wants to be second to anybody, to the training facilities that we have, to housing, to the pay for the Coast Guard, which thankfully the Senate yesterday passed Reconciliation 2.0, which gives our men and women in the Coast Guard a 7% pay raise, and they need it. Which I do want to recognize that Senator Britt and Senator Tuberville was up till 5:30 in the morning, all night long, getting that passed. But it also puts into the future of where the Coast Guard goes from here is sustainability. On the way over here, we're talking about the investment that we have to make on this campus to make sure it fits the needs of today and tomorrow for the Coast Guard. And then the annual budget is going to take to be able to move the ball forward and be able to maintain this beautiful campus. And you guys got a great one in Senator Katie Britt, who sat there and said, good thing I know somebody on appropriations. I don't know who that is. She might be in a yellow dress. And then great things are going to happen. And I know I'm not here to be a campaign person, but he didn't mention it, so I'm not going to mention it either. But the next job for Coach Tuberville is going to be partnering with us too, to make sure that this campus thrives for the years to come. So I'm going to be walking around the campus here in a little bit. I'm going to go see everybody. Hopefully I'll be able to shake some hands. But this won't be the last time you see me. Side note, the first time I came to this town, I bought 2 antique doors from a movie theater that was open in like the 20s, and my wife wanted them. And I drove 17 hours to pick these doors up. And then someone mailed us from Birmingham, I still don't know who it is because it wasn't addressed by anybody on a return address, a paper that had the opening of that theater with the doors in it. And I would like to thank somebody for that. I've never been able to thank them. So right now, hopefully you're listening. Thank you for mailing that, because now it is framed in my office and where that theater is. And so that just shows the heart of everybody here. But we're going to partner. We're going to continue partnering moving forward. You're going to see a lot of us, and I can't thank you enough for giving the United States Coast Guard this opportunity, because it is an absolute beautiful campus. So may God bless Birmingham. May God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Secretary Mullin. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of Semper Paratus and remain standing for the benediction and departure of the official party. For those new to our Coast Guard family, the words can be found on the back of your program. For the call, we placed our trust in thee. Through surf or storm and howling gale, I shall our purpose be. Semper Paratus is our sky, our aim, our glory too. To fight and save or fight and die, aye, Coast Guard, we are for you. Please remain standing for the benediction delivered by the 13th Chaplain of the United States Coast Guard, Captain Jennifer Bowden.
Let us pray. Almighty God, as we conclude this ceremony of transition and new beginnings, We give thanks and praise for the enduring legacy of Birmingham-Southern and the promise of the great mission ahead for Training Center Birmingham-Southern. We remember the faithful foundation of this campus and pray that you will guide our steps into this new horizon as you continue to bless these hallowed grounds. We are reminded of the sacred covenant to place ourselves at the service of others, to do what you will, to be employed for the greater good, and to stand ready in all things. May this spirit of selfless service strengthen every Coast Guard leader who passes through these historic gates, preparing them to meet unknown challenges and opportunities. May the motto of this institution, Forward Ever, lead us boldly into the future as we remain Semper Paratus, always ready. May the faithful heritage of Birmingham-Southern echo through these halls. And now, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Go in peace. Semper Paratus. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Official party, please cover. Ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of the ceremony, please join us at the flagpole at the main gate for the ribbon cutting and the hoisting of the DHS flag and the Coast Guard ensign. Military members, attention. Now, Homeland Security departing. Official party, hand salute. Ready? 2. Now, Honorable Tommy Tuberville, United States Senator from the state of Alabama, departing. The Honorable Katie Britt, United States Senator from the state of Alabama, departing. United States Coast Guard, departing. Deputy Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, departing. Birmingham-Southern College, departing. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the indoor portion of today's ceremony. Please exit out the front of the venue and follow the signs to the front gate where we will host a ribbon cutting.
Yeah, I'm locked. I'm locked. The party's coming out.
Think about jumping. I'll go where they tell me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you can please face the opposite direction, we'll be hoisting the DHS flag and the Coast Guard ensign, and then unveiling the Coast Guard Training Center, Birmingham.
All the guests will stay and watch the drill. I mean, y'all are more than welcome to stay if you want. But you can over there before them. Yeah. I think that might be best. I'm sorry, I can't take it.
Go. Oh, ready?
afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am Petty Officer First Class Kyle Thomas, Drill Master for the Ceremonial Honor Guard. It is my distinct pleasure to present to you the United States Coast Guard Silent Drill Team.